You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
You are rocking with the hottest. Put your hands up for the boss. The Mix Master is live. Get ready.
History repeats itself. Try and you succeed.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball.
And you can have your dream. You're the best.
JB the Ticket.
Never keep you down. You're the best.
Vegas Scoreboard Express.
Never keep you down. You're the best.
Giving you that grace.
That's right, I'm the best around. You back with me, JB the Ticket, and Vegas Scoreboard Express live here on 107.1 FM AM 1400 in Las Vegas, around the world on the VSX Digital Sports Network.com, JBTheTicket.com, and VegasScoreboardExpress.com. And I got two of my cohorts with me this morning. We're going to be talking a little bit of basketball, might sprinkle in a little bit of baseball because we brought him back. I'm talking about my main man, Troy West from TroyWins.com. Good morning, Troy. You're one of the best around. We're glad to have you back. We cleaned up in college basketball yesterday.
Thank you, JB. 4-0 yesterday. I think we gave out some grease on this show as well, JB.
That's right, cash in your pocket. And you know he's back with us. You heard the baseball line. Scotty, beam him up, Webb, MLB-daily.com. Some college basketball, a little bit of early baseball, telling you about what happened over in Korea with a recap and where you can put some cash in your pocket. Good morning, Scotty. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, JB. Get through the weekend, and we got basketball, and then opening day is Thursday.
Opening day is Thursday. That's right, guys, and you're going to want to watch these games live with our friends on Fubo TV. That's right, I'm giving you 15% off. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. That's going to save some cash and put some money in your pocket. So when I get back from this commercial break, you're rocking with the boss of the big board, VSX Digital Sports Network, co-contributors Troy West and Scotty Beam 'em Up Webb. We are the best around, and this is the best show around, so you're going to want to keep it locked here. The number one sports betting show in America, JB the Ticket. Get the money.
Till you drop.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball,
Reach the top. You're the best.
JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grace.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best.
Skip your cable bill this month and join the action with JB and Fubo TV. Get 7 days free, 15% off your first month. No credit check, no deposit, no installation hassle. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. Sign up, download the app, and start watching games.
Enjoy being a subscriber after the first month. Easy cancellation anytime. Regional restrictions apply. Sign up at VegasScoreboardExpress.com.
You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network. You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
That's right, too cold to hold, too hot to touch. Back on the line with you, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, waking you up this Sunday. Who gives you grease like this? Starting you off with a little bit of that Karate Kid, because I was doing karate yesterday at the book. Bringing home some of that rent money. You know what time it is, waking you back up. My main man, Troy West from TroyWins.com. Scotty Beam 'em Up Webb from MLBDaily.com. Give a shout out to my main man, Linwood, Hard Rock, Hamilton, Ron Third Down, Best Bets, Legal Lee, Ronnie B from Las Vegas. We went on that Tennessee pick yesterday. Money line, putting cash in your pocket. So we're waking you back up this morning here on a Vegas Scoreboard Express. College basketball is on deck, people. It's an all-ball Sunday. All money, all sports, no bull. It's time to get into it and put the cash in your pocket, waking you back up here on KSHP. So Troy West, we want to talk about it yesterday. We kind of split and went the other way, but I was able to put cash in your pocket. North Carolina, they were able to beat up on Michigan State. It was close within the first 5 minutes, and then North Carolina opened up the Tar Heels, 85-69. We didn't talk about it, but again, shout out to my main man, Legal Lee. He mentioned something yesterday, an interesting stat that would have been a great piece of grease to give out to all of the listeners, is that Michigan State has never beaten North Carolina in the tournament. It's just never happened. And yesterday, the history continues to be made with North Carolina. This is a team that I think going into the Sweet 16, you have to look at them as a possibility for the Elite Eight and going all the way back to the Final Four. You got to look at what the head coach is doing in Hubert Davis. He actually used a clipboard yesterday. I saw him drawing up a few things when it was a little bit tight. So, Troy, let's go over to you. I wanted to talk to you about this one because I know we had a split decision on it, but Carolina was able to get it done. Do you think Carolina is going back not only to the Sweet 16, but are they going to move up into the Final Four? Go ahead.
So they're playing great ball right now, JB. You know, they had that slip up in the ACC tournament against NC State, but I think that kind of woke them up a little bit. They've obviously got the talent. They've got a coach that's coached in the national championship. They're as athletic as any team in the country. They'll tell you what, if they come up against Arizona, that is going to be one fun basketball game. That's the one team that could get in their way right now is Arizona. Arizona playing good ball as well. It'll be a lot of fun to catch that game here in a couple of weeks.
A lot of good fun to watch them again. Fubo TV. Want to throw this one over to you. Scotty, beam him up, Webb. You're down in the South. We talked about these guys. The Wolfpack, NC State. These guys were able to get over the Grizzlies 79-73. The ACC, we talk bad about them, but they're doing pretty good with some of the old classic stalwarts. You got UNC moving to the Sweet 16. You got NC State moving to the Sweet 16. So, Scotty, I want to talk to you about some of the teams down south. We got Tennessee yesterday, again, taking down that win. Shout out Ronnie B, Las Vegas, jbtheticket.com. We concurred on Tennessee. I told you guys, though, you got to buy them down to -1 when you get in some of these close games here. But let's go back to NC State. Scotty, do you like what you see out of this team? They are streaking, okay? They have won their last 8 straight games. And that's what it takes to get ahead in the NCAA tournament. Win by 1, lose by none. Go ahead and get the money. Scotty, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that it's a good idea to support or back teams that are streaking. Obviously, we do that in baseball. We do that in any sport, whether it's college basketball, NBA, or whatever. That doesn't matter. I mean, you want to be on those teams. I just think that at some point in time, this is a team that is doing well. They beat a lot of quality teams when they played in the ACC tournament, and I think that the rubber's going to hit the road for them here in a little bit. So their run may be over, but at the same time as it might be over, I think that they did very, very well to get to where they've done. They're a good story, all of that stuff. And I congratulations to that program.
There you go. Congratulations to the NC State Wolfpack. Again, shout out Linwood, Hard Rock, Hamilton, NC State alum. You guys got to go to eBay and search for Soul City Wrestling. Linwood's got some new apparel out. There you go. One way or another, that documentary is going to get done. I like some of the sweatshirts. I'll be picking some up myself. Another team that we told you about yesterday to put cash in your pocket, waking you up early, Gonzaga. They sent Kansas home yesterday. Troy West, want to go back to you on this one. It sounds like somebody's got something in the background there. Go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, JB, Gonzaga, man, we told you they're looking good right now. And Mark Few, one of the best coaches in the country. The guy's been to the tournament 20-plus years, JB. Let that sink in. And right now they're clicking. This was a team that was up and down all season long. They weren't clicking as a ball club. They are clicking right now. They are clicking. They made Kansas look like a JV team. But you know what, JB? We've said it all year. Kansas was up and down, up and down. They got exposed yesterday. If Purdue wins today, which I think they will, boy, that Gonzaga-Purdue game is going to be a showdown.
That's what we're going to be talking about when we come back from this short commercial break. Scotty, beam him up, Webb from MLB-Daily.com. He's still on the line here with us. I wanted to throw this one over at you. We looked at it. It was the late night game, double overtime. Creighton, number 3 seed, taking down Oregon, 86-73. Creighton is another team that has played well and has beaten Purdue. So Purdue's road to the Final Four and to the national championship game is getting a little bit tougher. Scotty, quick 30 seconds on Creighton. Do you think that they can continue their run coming out of the Big East? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I think Creighton's made it, to the final, to the Sweet 16 for 8 straight years. And I think that's a program that is, they're very well tested. They play a lot of quality teams. They play a quality offense, and they got shooters. Anytime you got shooters, you can play. Now, they're going to have to play against some athletic teams. I mean, Tennessee's pretty athletic, so if Tennessee's running, and hitting everything they've got, I'm not sure that Creighton can hang with that. But at the same time, I like Creighton. I think Creighton's a good basketball team. I thought it was interesting how they got into overtime yesterday, and then Oregon just couldn't score.
Oregon couldn't score. That's what me and my main man Legally said. Bet on the teams or against the teams that can't score, and bet on the teams with the shooters that'll give you grease. When I come back from this short commercial break, keep waking you up here on this Sunday. Let's get ready for college basketball. Sweet 16. Let's get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. Giving you that grease.
Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
When you bring your vehicle to Star Auto Care for maintenance, you'll have a team of professionals at your service. Every one of our technicians has been factory trained and master status certified to ensure that you receive the highest quality and most effective service. Star Auto Care is located at 3540 East Tropicana Avenue, just east of Pecos. Star Auto Care is confident in their prices and will match any mechanic located within 20 miles. Bring your vehicle in today and let Star Auto Care give you the peace of mind you deserve when you service your car. Visit them online at starautocare.us.
Embark on this thrilling journey into sports leadership with me, Dr. David Schoonover, every Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on KSHP, exclusively on the VSX Digital Sports Network. Gain valuable insight into the minds of coaches, executives, and administrators as we uncover the secrets of coaching brilliance. Tune in for exclusive revelations and endless inspiration. Be sure to catch every moment each Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., right here live on KSHP 107.1 FM, 1400 AM.
You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
Fire, more heat.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JB the Ticket. Giving you that grease. Vegas Scoreboard Express.
Always spitting that explosive fire.
Back at you live, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, 107.1 FM AM 1400, giving you cash in your pocket today. College basketball is on the line, all ball, all money, all sports, no bull here. My main man, Troy West from TroyWins.com. Thank you so much for coming back on the line with me. You guys got to follow him over on that Instagram at It's Troy West. And, of course, my main man, Scotty, beam him up, Webb from MLB-Daily.com. Good morning back to both of you guys. Glad to have you both here. There has been some very, very good college basketball going on. This is the time of the year that I like to watch it. You tend to see teams fight a little bit more, and they tend to get up and down the floor more, and that's the game that we want to talk about today. All right, guys, just wanted to go over a few of the things that we had. Again, from yesterday, we gave out one of the picks. Shout out my main man, Jake Pappy. He was also on there on the Saturday morning show. Gave out Gonzaga. He also gave out one of the HBCUs. He said, take Norfolk State. And that was able to put some cash in your pocket. So we wanted to give him a shout out as well for his contribution. So we've got an early game. Looks like that it's coming on right here. This is the CBI. I know, Troy West, I'm going to start off with you. I know what you're going to tell me. Rotation number 854, Northern Colorado versus Cleveland State. Okay, this is one of the first games that are on the line today. Again, it is a degenerate game. I took a look at this one because I said, well, look, if it's starting off early, might as well see if there's some value here when you take a look at it on the line. You could look at these guys. Some places have them, some places don't, but it is opened up today, plus 4.5 for Northern Colorado. You got Cleveland State coming out in this game. How do you see this one lining up? Do you look at this one as something that you would say, well, maybe let me get some early lines on this one? Or is this something where you say Northern Colorado, who was priced at 3.5, moved down to 1.5, Cleveland State still same thing, moving in tandem, 3.5 plus 1.5. Troy, any thoughts on this one, or are you going to leave it for the degenerates? Go ahead.
Yeah, I always like to trend under in games like these, right? High-intensity defense. A lot of these teams, they haven't seen each other. They don't know each other. I like to lean under in these type of games, JB. But again, yes, it's degenerate city, right? Because a lot of these kids, JB, we just don't know where their heads are at, right? A lot of these guys are looking forward to spring break. They don't want to be playing in some CBI tournament while March Madness is going on. So you really got to play that when you're handicapping these games. Is this team motivated to win these type of basketball games?
There you go. Let's jump into some real grease then. Rotation number 831. We talked about these guys. Utah State plus 11.5. You got 56% of the money on them right now, going up against our Purdue Boilermakers. Troy, rotation number 832. Purdue, another tall order today. Had 11.5, 16-0 at home, 30-4 overall, 18-15 against the spread. We like for the spreads with Purdue to be around 6.5. They're giving them double digits today. Utah State, again, this is a team that has been playing in the dog position, beating up on TCU 88-72 2 days ago. And when you look at where they're coming in from the Mountain West here, you talk about the Mountain West getting in a lot of teams, and they were first in the Mountain West. This is a team that you might have to take a look at here with too many points for Purdue. Do we want them to win money line? Yes, but it is quite the expensive money line today. Again, rotation number 832, the Purdue Boilermakers. They're going to cost you quite a pretty penny. When you talk about this team here, though, and you go back and say to yourself, if there's any chance for a team to come in and get inside of that spread, you got to put $600 on Purdue if you want to go money line. But Utah State at plus 450. Troy, I don't even want to mention it. Do you think Purdue's going to be able to handle these guys today? Go ahead.
Yeah, Utah State, one of the better stories of college basketball this year. Sprinkle, the head coach, has been outstanding. They looked outstanding in the Mountain West. They looked outstanding against TCU, but they're running into a buzzsaw today. We've talked about it all year long, JB. Now you've got to face Zach Edey. When you've got a 7'5" center sitting in the middle, points don't come as easy as they have been coming for a team like Utah State. I think they can hang within the number, but this is just a different matchup than TCU. This is one of the best teams in the country with the best center in the country. I like Purdue, higher scoring game. I think Purdue wins this one 77-67 to be right around that number.
In your face. Going to be right around it. Scotty, beam him up. Webb throwing this one over to you. Out here in the West, the Mountain West, Utah State came out of nowhere. UNLV, they have a game tonight in the NIT as well. Shout out to UNLV. Now that's one team that's motivated. We may talk about it a little bit later, but again, Utah State plus 11.5. Total is 149. Troy said right around that number. He thinks Purdue can get it. I'm going to buy Purdue back to about a -5 today. I need them to win this game. They've got to keep moving along. My new alma mater, but most importantly, like Troy said, 7'5" in the middle, National Player of the Year. He's the most skilled college basketball player in the Power 5 conferences. He's got to come out this year. Should be a top 5 pick. I think he's a little bit more muscular version of a Chet Holmgren type player. I think Utah State is going to have their hands full down low. And again, as Troy said, if they're going to rely on the three-pointer, we could look at maybe a prop bet. Shout out to your main man, Alex Massaraf over at twprops.com. He likes these 10, 11 rebound games for Zach Edey. Scotty, go ahead.
Yeah, other than San Diego State, this is a conference that doesn't seem to stack up well when they play quality opponents from other divisions and other conferences. So I'm not really looking for Utah State to be much of a fight here for Purdue. I think Purdue's going to be able to dominate this game. I'm not going to tell you they're going to win by 30 or something like that, but I really think that this is one of those spots where Purdue, as long as they're not looking forward to the next game, meaning that, okay, we're going to beat Utah State by 20 or something, let's get ready for Gonzaga while they're still playing Utah State. So my opinion is going to be that I would struggle with even the idea that Utah State stays within the number here, but if Purdue's focused, and this is games in Indianapolis, I think Purdue's going to be good here. I wouldn't go against the favorite in this spot.
We like Purdue today. I'm telling you, be safe though, people out there. Buy them down. If you're really not too scared, buy them down to a -3. Make them an anchor on one of your tickets. Let's move into another game today. Big dog barking. Rotation number 827, the James Madison Dukes going up against rotation number 828, the Duke Blue Devils. Duke right now -7.5. 73% of the money is on the big dog, James Madison. You talk about a team that came out and just completely obliterated their opponent in the last game. Let me pull that up for you here. But the reality is, again, small school versus the ACC. Do you think that there's any chance for James Madison not only to get inside of that spread, but to continue that money line train? Troy West, I'm throwing this one over to you. I didn't like the performances that I saw out of Duke in the ACC tournament, and I didn't see very much out of their offense. They got their guy Filipowski getting hurt in a court rush by students. This is a trap game. I think that Duke might end up going home today. Go ahead.
Yeah, JB, I like James Madison to cover this. I even sprinkle a little bit on the money line. This is a team that's won 14 straight games. They've been dominant all year long, JB. This is no longer a Cinderella story. These guys are 32-3 for a reason. They're well coached. They're athletic. They can shoot. They buzzsawed a really good Wisconsin team.
Yes.
Wisconsin was coming off the Big Ten championship, and James Madison, they handled business like it was an easy game and moving on to the next. This will be a great game, though. Duke looked good in their first game. I'm looking forward to this matchup, but give me James Madison plus the points.
If you like James Madison plus the points, you should buy it up to at least a +10 to be safe. But if you want to be a dog, a real dog, we're talking about money line here. Throwing this one over to you, Scotty. Beam him up, Webb. You talk about James Madison. Troy West gave you the record, 31-3, 12-2 on the road. Duke a little bit more pedestrian on the record, but they tend to feel that they play in a stronger conference. As you can see, 3 ACC schools, 4 make that 4 ACC schools, make that 5 ACC schools. The ACC is the bulk of the tournament right now. Okay, you've got North Carolina. You got North Carolina State. You got Clemson on the line today. Duke on the line today. Wake Forest. I mean, the ACC is making some noise here in this tournament. So let's talk about it from that perspective. Do you think that Duke wants to be the team that ends up dropping off from the ACC this year? I'm not really sold on Shire's coaching style as well. Go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah, James Madison's a great story. I love their program. They actually have a good football program too. The issue that you run into here is in our market, in our worlds, we have to kind of understand sort of what's happening and what's going on. And you have two different things here today. You have James Madison and Grand Canyon, and both of those teams are very public dogs, and when the public's on a dog play like that, you got to be real careful. And my opinion would be is that I would rather be on the Grand Canyon public dog against Alabama because they don't play any defense. And when you talk about Duke, I still think that Duke plays a sound basketball program and a sound basketball game, and they understand what they're trying to do. I think that Duke is probably more the right side here. I understand that everybody wants to be on James Madison, and I don't. And if everybody wasn't on him, I'd love to be on him too. But I can't be on a public dog.
He thinks that the public dog is the trap from the sports book. Guys, we're going to take a short commercial break. When I come back from this break, we're going to get back into more of the grease. College basketball is here live, KSHP 107.1 FM. Going to give you guys a little bit of time for shout-outs. Scotty, beam him up, Webb, MLB-daily.com. Thank you so much for coming on this morning. Tell them where they can get your picks, and who do you want to show some love to? Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been writing up some stuff and doing a bunch of things on the website for baseball. I mean, baseball starts on Thursday. Running some specials over there right now and doing some different things. It'd be greatly appreciated just if you hit up the website, get some tickets going on over there, get some status happening, and go ahead and sign up for a month and see what you think and kind of go from there. And in terms of shout-outs and stuff, I want to make sure that one thing that happened to me, I served on a jury duty last week, and I served in a jury for a whole week, and that was a process, man. And if you never have done that before, live up to that oath. It's actually a good thing. You learn a lot.
There you go, Scotty. Beam him up, Webb, doing his civic duty. Troy West, where can they get your picks today? Quick shout out, and then we'll take this break. Go ahead.
Yeah, JB, 4-0 yesterday. Really not even a close game. Get to TroyWins.com. We'll give you today absolutely free. We're striking on all cylinders right now, JB. We're hot as a pistol.
That's right, Las Vegas and all around the world. MLB-daily.com for those Major League Baseball picks. And for all the picks all around, even prop bets, go to TroyWins.com and TWProps.com to put that cash in your pocket. So when I get back from this short commercial break, don't forget to go to JBTheTicket.com. That's where you're going to get all your daily deals. You can get my free pick. And most importantly, you're going to be able to get the grease. We'll be back.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express, giving you that grease.
It's time to wake up and win the weekend.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket, giving you that grease.
Join me every Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time for the live action on Vegas Scoreboard Express on KSHP 107.1 FM and AM 1400. Dive into the game day with my in-depth analysis, expert predictions, and winning plays from the sharpest minds in sports betting. It's more than just placing bets. It's about securing wins. Head over to JBTheTicket.com and be sure to tune in to KSHP this weekend from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time to ride the winning wave with VSX. Tune in and get your money back from the sports book. All money, all sports, no bull. Missed the live show? Subscribe to Vegas Scoreboard Express on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, and wherever you enjoy your favorite podcasts and radio listening.
Embark on this thrilling journey into sports leadership with me, Dr. David Schoonover, every Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on KSHP, exclusively on the VSX Digital Sports Network. Gain valuable insight into the minds of coaches, executives, and administrators as we uncover the secrets of coaching brilliance. Tune in for exclusive revelations and endless inspiration. Be sure to catch every moment each Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., right here live on KSHP 107.1 FM. 1400 AM.
You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
You are rocking with the hottest. Put your hands up for the boss. The Mix Master is live. Get ready.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball,
Walk along the razor's edge.
JB the Ticket.
Keep your head or you will finish.
Vegas Scoreboard Express, giving you that grease.
Back at you live, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, pushing you to the limits today in college basketball. Got him on the line with me, my main man, Troy West from TroyWins.com. Scotty, beam him up, Webb from MLB-daily.com. These are two of the best handicappers in America, people, right here on the number one sports betting show in America. Shout out to all my friends over at Good Pods that tune in each and every weekend, and you here in Las Vegas on 107.1 FM and AM 1400. Let's get back into the grease, guys, talking about these ACC matchups. Interesting today. Number 6 seed, rotation number 833. The Clemson Tigers are going to play another Bear. This is the Tiger versus a Bear match today, people. Rotation number 834. The Baylor Bears -4.5. You know, I think that's dead money. 15-2 at home. But let's not forget that Baylor won the national championship a couple of seasons ago. So this is a team to be reckoned with, but you got the Clemson Tigers here that play solid defense, can hit the three ball. Troy West throwing this one at you to get started. Do you think Clemson can continue to represent the ACC and move along to the Sweet 16? This game may trend under, total 145.5. When I take a look at what Clemson has been able to do when they were able to beat New Mexico 77-56 a couple of days ago, that may not be their particular style of basketball. The shots were falling, but when you go against a Baylor team, highly athletic, a good rebounding team, and a good late game free throw shooting team, that's what helped get them to this point. Do you think that Clemson should get bought up maybe to say with value plus 7.5 and take the dog here, or actually take the Tiger with Clemson? Go ahead.
Yeah, JB, if they play anything like they did against New Mexico, they're going to win this basketball game. Problem with Clemson is they're very inconsistent on the offensive end of the floor. You just don't know what you're going to get from them. Baylor's been outstanding all year. This is going to be a heck of a game. I think it's probably going to be the best game of the day. If I'm betting on it, which I'm not, JB, I'm going with your method, and I'm going to take the Tigers up to 6.5, 7. I think it's going to be a close basketball game. But again, can they replicate what they did against New Mexico a couple days ago?
Right. I'm liking them here in a spread play, like you said, taking them up a couple of points. Scotty beaming them up. Webb, throwing this one over to you. You got a Baylor team that no one is talking about. It looks like these guys are poised to make a run back to the Sweet 16. And when you mention it from the perspective of actually getting over the hump here, the money line is not too expensive. If you wanted to go with the Baylor side, you guys know I like Clemson here. Buy them up to 7. That should be able to put cash in your pocket. The money line, though, is a little bit tight here with Baylor. Again, rotation number 834. Not seeing these guys giving you a lot. At minus 190, it's going to cost you a little bit more than I would like to see it. Scotty, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Baylor's a lot like Alabama. They're a lot like Tennessee. These teams are real streaky, real spurty, right? They do things in streaks and spurts, and if they get off and they play well the entire game, they're going to beat Clemson. Now, having said that, I don't trust those situations, right? So I think Clemson, like we've been talking about, I think Clemson's one of those teams that they're inconsistent too. But at the same time that they're inconsistent too, they've played against some of these better teams and some of the teams that they've competition-wise. I think they can hang around here in this game. So I'm more apt to be on the dog here with Clemson in this spot.
I love it.
The dog is barking with Clemson out of the ACC. Let's move back to the Big 12 here. This is kind of a conference game falling into the second round. Let's talk about it. Rotation number 835. The Texas A&M Aggies here are a dog, plus 9.5, plus 360 on the money line. Total of 134.5 going up against those Houston Cougars. Another battle of dogs versus cats. Houston minus 475, kind of expensive, but when you talk about defense, let's look at that total. Troy West throwing this one over to you. The Cougars locking teams down. It's only 134 and the hook on the total. Talking about a low price here. I think this one is screaming to maybe even buy that down a little bit lower to put cash in your pocket, but I think Houston rolls today. Go ahead.
I think it's going to be a heck of a game. I mean, Texas A&M right now, JB, they are hot. These guys are absolutely cooking right now. They're getting a lot of points here. They look so good against Nebraska. I mean, my God, these guys were scoring at will. They're the number one offensive rebounding team in the country. Again, though, can they replicate it? Can they do what they did against Nebraska? They're going against one of the best defenses in the country. I do like Texas A&M to cover. I think if you buy this thing up to 10.5, I don't think they necessarily win the game, but I think you're looking at like a 67-62 type of basketball game.
Telling you that it could go under. Going back over to you, Scotty. The Houston Cougars, known for that defense. You got Coach Sampson down there. Again, shout out Lumberton, North Carolina. All my friends and family down in Columbus County, North Carolina. JB the Ticket is still rocking out here with you in Las Vegas and around the world. Coach Sampson, that's his roots, man. This guy plays good Southern basketball, Southern defense in your face. Troy West talked about Texas A&M being able to score at will versus an undersized Nebraska team. Houston gets out early, they play defense, and most importantly, they cash in on your mistakes. They're the number one team in the country that gets points off of turnovers. How is Texas A&M going to help themselves get at least above 50? Because right now, 60% of the money, again, that public dog is on Texas A&M, but we sharps are looking at Houston. I may even buy Houston down to maybe a -5, guaranteeing you cash in your pocket here, but I think Houston's defense is going to be the factor as the number 1 overall seed. Go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things I do when I bet on Houston is I don't really like to play on their offense, right? We all want to play on their defense. So the way I bet Houston games is I look at the first half of these games and I play the opponent under. So in this case, it's Texas A&M under in the first half, and their total is 29 points. So they got to score 30 points against Houston in the first half, and that doesn't happen very often. I know it doesn't seem like 29 points is a lot, but when you play against Houston, it is a lot. And I would rather go in the route of that direction. Now, in terms of how I think the game will go, I don't think that Texas A&M is going to beat Houston, but I would tell you that on any given night, and I guess you could say that about any game, but Houston's offense is so erratic and not consistent that the reality is that almost any team can beat Houston, but you got to beat them. You got to beat them on defense, and I think that's where a lot of the problem runs into. So I would rather stack up their defense, play the opponent against them under in the first half. In this case, it's under 29.
He's telling you that it's a low price. You want to go in the under first half. Texas A&M, can they score a minimum of 30 points? Let's see if Coach Sampson's defense can stay on top of them. Let's talk about another big dog here. This is a dog that I've been rocking with here. Northwestern, rotation number 825, going up to play Connecticut today, the other number 1 overall seed in the tournament. Still alive, still doing well, still kicking. Now, we talk about Connecticut winning these big spreads. We saw it in the first game. Northwestern is an entirely different animal here, okay? The Northwestern Wildcats, another dog versus cat matchup here. I'm liking these matchups here because the Cats have been proven to be quite fierce here, okay? These guys came back in their game earlier this week in overtime and played flawless basketball to put away FAU, the dreaming team from last year, making it to the Final Four. Didn't even get to the round of Sweet 16 this year. I think Northwestern is another dog that is barking simply because these guys know how to play basketball. They have a lot of Ivy League transfers, and when an Ivy League transfer gets into that graduate season, finally gets that brain developed, his basketball skills typically develop as well. When I saw them running clean pick and rolls, hitting corner of the elbow jump shots, not throwing it back out to 3. And, if they did throw it back out to 3, it was straight cash, money in your pocket. I'm going with the big dog today, Northwestern, to keep it close. I'm taking them in the points. I'm going to buy that up to a +16. That should be able to at least get you some money if UConn and their head coach, Hurley, tends to just tell his team that no matter what you do, I'm still mad. These guys were up something ridiculous in the first round. And when Hurley went to the sideline when they were playing Stetson, I mean, the score was like 52-10. I mean, it was bad. And Coach Hurley seemed to be kind of angry. I know some of these coaches, again, shout out to my main man, Dr. David Schoonover. You're going to be tuning into his show right after me. The Mind Coordinator. Stay tuned here. VSX Digital Networks taking over KSHP this Sunday at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Mind Coordinator. But we're talking about these coaches who they coach their teams as if nothing is ever good enough. I think today that could be a problem if you look at that Northwestern team. If they come out early and get hot, I think that this could be one of those spreads that get covered. Go ahead, Troy West, on this one.
Yeah, JB, I actually totally agree with you on this one. Northwestern's a good basketball team. They're well coached. They played a tough schedule all year long. UConn just hasn't been tested, and I wonder if when that's going to bite them. Maybe it doesn't bite them. But I think today it's going to be a closer basketball game. You're just not giving Northwestern any credit by throwing them 13.5 points in a second-round tournament game. I think it's going to be a close game. I do think UConn probably prevails. They're the more athletic team. They're obviously the defending champs for a reason. UConn's a damn good basketball team, but I do think it's close. I think you're looking at like a 72-64 type of game. I'll take 13.5. Buy me a point or two. Get this thing even up to 15. You don't have to pay a lot of juice to do that.
That's right.
Northwestern plus the point.
That's right. Give yourself a cushion. The juice has got a little less sugar in it. Let's go over to you, Scotty. You talk about these UConn guys Total 135.5. Now, this is a game I think is going to go way over, okay? Both of these teams can get up and down the floor and score, but this is a different test for UConn, okay? Stetson was more of a tune-up game, okay? They got a huge lead, but one of the things that I saw that I didn't like from Coach Hurley was he didn't let the bench warmers get in. And when the bench warmers don't get a chance to play, you talk about being up for motivating, all right? They want the championship ring too, but Northwestern is going to throw 10, 11 players at these guys to tire them out. They run a very, very good trap as well. And we know that UConn doesn't have the ball handling that they used to. They rely more on long passing and spacing. If Northwestern can cut off those passing lanes, I'm telling you, this is a dog that's barking today. UConn could be in trouble. Don't know about the money line. It's a huge money line here. Can get you plus 750. But Scotty, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that we're giving Northwestern way too much credit here. Now, I mean, I get it. Northwestern's a good basketball team, but this is a team that was fourth in the Big Ten. They got knocked out in the second game of the Big Ten tournament they played. They played Wisconsin. They got beat by 9. Their quote play-in game in that tournament, they beat Minnesota, right? But previous to that, they got beat by Michigan State. They got beat by Iowa. They had to come back and beat Maryland. They got beat by Rutgers. This is a team that I think is a quality team, but they're not UConn, man. I mean, I get it. You know, UConn and everybody wants to find the chink in the armor. And I think we said something to the degree that, you know, UConn's not been challenged. Well, I would be willing to tell you that the Big East is a much better quality conference than what the Big Ten is. And the teams that they've played in those conferences with the Creightons and the Marquettes and those kinds of teams are going to be quality teams that fight, and they're still in this tournament. I don't think Northwestern hangs around in this game, to be honest.
He doesn't like Northwestern in this when he likes Connecticut. Do you like him in the points, or you just want to take him on that expensive money line? Go ahead. Rotation number 826, Connecticut, the alumni bet. Very expensive at $1,050. The dog is more valuable, but again, you talk about UConn. You think that UConn is coaching, and their ability to just play good basketball coming from that Big East is going to put cash in your pocket. You like him in the points or the money line? Go ahead.
No, just take the points. I mean, you know, I would never advise anybody to play minus 1,000 on the money line unless, you know, my numbers showed that it should be minus 2,000 or something. You know, the reality is that, you know, we're all out here to win bets, and you know, a slogan that I always use is make bets that don't lose. And on a piece of paper, when you make your bet and you put it out there, and you have EV positive or you don't, the reality is that you need to determine what a good bet is. And you know, if you're betting minus 1,000, I'm not so sure that's a good bet.
There you go, Scotty. When we come back from the break, I'm going to let you espouse on a little bit of baseball here. Troy West from TroyWins.com. Locked and loaded with us here, KSHP AM 1400. It's been a fun day, guys. We've got a lot of basketball here. When I come back, still got some spring training baseball. Scotty will let you get 5 minutes in to give us a quick update, and then we'll come back with our best plays of the day. So you're going to want to grab your bankroll, your sheet that you write down the rotation numbers, and get ready to beat the line, because JB the Ticket and the VSX crew are getting ready to do what? Get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express, giving you that grease.
In times of war and peace, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. We salute those who have given their lives for our country. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten.
This salute is courtesy of Mac and Grill Cheese Factory, serving our area with quality and pride. For a fantastic meal, stop by 1331 West Warm Springs Road in Henderson, or call them at 725-214-4140. That's 725-214-4140. Mac and Grill Cheese Factory, on the air reminding everyone that we live in the land of the free thanks to our brave.
Embark on this thrilling journey into sports leadership with me, Dr. David Schoonover, every Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on KSHP, exclusively on the VSX Digital Sports Network. Gain valuable insight into the minds of coaches, executives, and administrators as we uncover the secrets of coaching brilliance. Tune in for exclusive revelations and endless inspiration. Be sure to catch every moment each Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., right here live on KSHP 107.1 FM and 1400 AM.
You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
Yo. You're in the mix. World's finest, man.
You're listening to the Pulse of the Big Ball. JB the Ticket. Vegas Sports Right. Giving you that green.
Back at you live, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, telling you where to get the cash at with Scotty. Beam him up, Webb from MLB-daily.com. Troy West from TroyWins.com, proprietor of TWProps.com. Going to talk a little bit of baseball here with you again with Scotty. Beam him up, Webb. Again, Scotty, thank you so much for coming back on, keeping fans abreast of baseball. We're the only show that really mentions it and gives you some breakdown today. Spring training, it's over in about 4 days. Opening day is on Thursday. Let's talk about your hometown Tampa Bay Rays. Give you about 5 minutes to get this breakdown in. Rotation number 947 plus 104. They got Zach Lytle, the right-hander, on the mound today if he decides to go. Or you look at the Detroit Tigers on the other side of that. Rotation number 948 got Jack Flaherty, another right-hander, minus 128. There's no over and under here, no run line. Just looking to see if the teams can get out and win. Do you like what you've seen with Tampa Bay in their spring training? And then after that, we'll move over to the Baltimore game because we know you take a look at the Baltimore Orioles last week. So we want to get some of that grease, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't like how Tampa Bay has played in the spring training games. Now, that doesn't mean anything in terms of how I feel about them for the regular season. But, you know, if we're betting in preseason games, you know, Detroit and Baltimore have both been teams that you really want to be on, not playing against. And in this particular case, I would say the same thing. I would not be on Tampa Bay.
Right. He doesn't like Tampa Bay today. Let's move down to that Baltimore Orioles game, finishing up the spring training. Rotation number 949. The Baltimore Orioles playing the Minnesota Twins. Baltimore, a very respectable record in spring training. Must have some young talent coming up in AAA. 22-6, 11-3 in that road position. Minnesota, just trying to work out some spring training baseball. Only 8-17, 7-4 in the home position. You got Grayson Rodriguez on the mound for Baltimore, and for Minnesota, you got Joe Ryan, two right-handers. I think they're just going to be working out some of the, pitching structure, some of the pitch count stuff today in this game. And you got Baltimore at minus 115, Minnesota at minus 105. Who do you like in this one? Go ahead.
Well, I would always take Baltimore in any of these games right now because they just don't lose these preseason games. I mean, they have had such competition at a lot of positions there, and they're a young team, and that tends to generate a lot of good play and team players trying to make the team. The Minnesota Twins are a team of a lot of veterans, and they don't have a lot of opportunities for spots. So it's like, the team just above them in their standings, I think, are the Phillies and the Yankees. And so, those are all veteran type teams. So they're not out there trying to win these games where, you've got guys on the Orioles, you've got guys on the Tigers, those kind of things that matter. And these teams can, they can hit, So, the Orioles, that's one of the things about them is it doesn't matter whether they've got their A team or their B team, whether they're at home or away. Those guys can hit. And, it's a perfect example. The Twins, for example, when they go on the road and travel, they've only won once. They're 1 in 13 tries. That just tells you what kind of team they take on the road with them as opposed to what they do at home. So anyway, my point my point here is that these games are the final games. I don't know if you guys know this, but these are the final games in Florida. I mean, they're not playing down here, even though the games don't start till Thursday. They travel back up north, and generally speaking, they play a game against their AAA farm team at the regular stadium, or like the Dodgers, they play the Angels in a series, a couple games, and stuff like that. I think the Yankees are actually going to Mexico. So some of these teams are doing some different. So they're not in Florida after today. So this is sort of a be careful what you wager on day, because they're packing up and getting ready to leave.
There you go, packing up, getting ready to leave. That's what we're getting ready to do here at Vegas Scoreboard Express. Scotty, beam him up, Webb, with that baseball report. Want to throw this one back over to you, Troy West. We want to talk some more college basketball. Got about a minute left here. You can hear it in the background. The riding high, that's right. Talking to you. Rotation number 839. The Grand Canyon GRC. These guys are like all over the place, man. You see these guys on TV. They got a ton of commercials. They're playing the Alabama Crimson Tide today. Rotation number 8-4-0, -6.5. It's been an interesting moment here for Alabama, because if you're looking at these guys as a team that can possibly come back and win this game, I'm liking Grand Canyon here. These guys are dead-eye shooters, man. If you can get inside of that point total here, +6.5, buy it up to 10, it could be some cash for you. Alabama doesn't play that great of a defense, and when you don't play that great of a defense, you can always take a team that can shoot to put some cash in your pocket. Go ahead, Troy West. Got about 2 minutes left. Give you 30 seconds.
Yeah, JB, I was impressed by Grand Canyon. I was wrong on that game. I thought they would lose that game to St. Mary's. St. Mary's is a damn good basketball team, well-rounded, good defense. Grand Canyon really didn't have a lot of problems. I'm curious if they can do it again today against an Alabama team that can score a lot of points when they're hot. This is going to be a good basketball game, though. I will take Grand Canyon plus the points. Favorites went 8-0 yesterday on the money line, though, yesterday, JB. 8-0 on the money line yesterday was the favorites. We'll see if the dog's barking today, but I'll go with Grand Canyon. The team that surprised me in the first round. I'll see if they surprise me again today.
We're going to see if they can surprise you today. Again, guys, thank you so much for coming on the show this morning. We're getting ready to slide out of here. That's right. We're slave to the sports book. Again, JB the Ticket. Go to my website, jbtheticket.com. That's going to put cash in your pocket. My main man, Troy West from TroyWins.com. Thank you so much for stopping by. Scotty, beam him up, Webb from MLB-daily.com, and also representing the East Coast sports investors out there. And I also want to give a shout-out to John Ryan, Predictor Sports Betting Playbook, and RotoWire.com. Couldn't get a hold of him this morning, but we know he's probably betting some dogs today. So let's go around the board for your best plays of the day. 15 seconds. Troy West, who do you like to put cash in your pocket today? Go ahead.
Yeah, JB, my favorite play of the day. Yeah, give me Northwestern plus the points. I'm buying this baby up to 14.5. I think it's going to be a closer game than we think. I think they probably lose by 8 to 10 points. Give me Northwestern plus the points.
Liking Northwestern. Scotty, beam him up, Webb. What's your best play of the day? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to start off with game starts in like 10 minutes. Give me Marquette today over Colorado. I know Colorado has played good in the Pac-12, but I think Marquette, with their kid coming back, I think they're going to play pretty well. I think they're going to cover this number.
Liking that cover and the number. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going with those Clemson Tigers. I'm liking what the ACC can do, and I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit of cash on James Madison, buying that one up to 10 to see if they can compete with Duke. We didn't talk about Wake Forest today in the NIT, but I'm shouting them out to do work against the Georgia Bulldogs. So again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. We can all say it at one time. You know what time it is. It's time to do one thing, folks, and let's get the money.
All right. I like that.
The boss of the big boy, JB the Ticket.